Welcome to this episode of the best of Cool Culture Corner. We look back at some of the early episodes of the podcast Cool Culture Corner and apply those principles to today in the world of what will hopefully be soon post-pandemic divisiveness, political issues, and all kinds of fun stuff that has ripple effects in our business. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for both the best of Cool Culture Corner and the podcast Cool Culture Corner. And we're going to look back at episode 16, which is titled, How Can You Buy BuyIn? And I will be the first to say that that was a bad title back then, because you can't buy-in, but you can earn buy-in among your staff, your employees, your team, however you want to characterize those folks. Let's listen in to a snippet from that particular episode. And then I want to come back and talk about the three main points that I discuss in that episode about 4 years ago. Listen in.
Our subject today, how can you buy BuyIn? And this is a question basically I heard at a small business workshop I had the pleasure to attend this past weekend. As much as I love facilitating and teaching workshops, I also love to be an attendee from time to time, because I learn so much, and it either gives me things that and ideas that I can use for all of my clients and participants and viewers and listeners, or it simply validates some of the things that I've known or felt strongly about for a long time, and that was certainly the case this past weekend with this small business workshop. But at the beginning of the workshop, as I often do, the facilitator, asked, what do you want to get out of the seminar? What's the number one thing that you would like to leave with? And one of the participants mentioned, basically, how do you get your managers to be more passionate? How do you get your staff more motivated and driven to get the job done? To my point, in the title of this particular show, how do you buy BuyIn? Well, it was interesting because the facilitator didn't truly answer it. He just simply said, well, what I know and what I believe and what we talk about every week on Cool Culture Corner is that it's about your culture. It's about building a certain culture within your team and within your staff. And he mentioned, which is also spot on true, is that management and leadership are two very, very different things. Management, according to him, is a science, while leadership is an art. Interesting analogy and good way of putting it. I would say management is actually just simply a title or an action, and leadership is a state of mind, to take that one step further. But what's interesting is, without giving this individual the answer right then and there, he actually, in a roundabout way, and probably unknowingly and inadvertently, gave this individual the answer that he needed in the afternoon of the session, when he talked about dealing with vendors and partners and suppliers, and how businesses that survive and do very well basically come with a mindset of three things. One, they think win-win. Two, they come with a servant's mentality. And three, they do everything with honor and integrity. And I thought that was also, frankly, the answer of how, as a business owner or executive, you get your managers and your staff to actually have more passion, to have more ownership in the task and the job that they're doing, is to do the exact same thing, is to not think of them as employees, as subordinates, but to think of them as partners in your business and treat them with a win-win mentality, to work with them with a servant's mentality, and to also coordinate with them and communicate with them with honor and integrity. If you do that with your staff, then you're going to have more passionate staff. You're going to have staff that care more about the job. Now, I know as well as you do that there's always the one bad apple, the one person that takes advantage of you, the one person that just doesn't get it. But I'll argue to my grave that that's 1 out of 10. And, why would you want to subject the other 9 people that are good people that would really benefit from the win-win, the servant's mentality, and the honor and integrity approach to their employment, just simply because you're upset or you want to guard yourself from the 1 person out of 10 that is going to be that serious pain that, frankly, you just need to get rid of. As I like to say, don't go away mad. Just go away already and go work someplace else. So the unfortunate thing that I thought, and I see this with frankly, way too many, not only small business owners, but also executives, that they will treat their partners, their vendors, their suppliers, people that they want to get something or they need to get something from for their business, with a win-win, with a servant's mentality, with a honor and integrity type of approach. But when it comes to their employees, all of a sudden they take a different tune. They bark orders at them or ask, frankly, kind of what I would call rude and insulting questions. How come you don't get this already? How come you don't just do this? How come you don't understand, how I want my tables wiped and my floor mopped? How come you don't understand how to close out the register at the end of the night? Well, maybe the answer is you just didn't train them properly. Maybe it's because you didn't take the time up front to truly explain it so that this individual could get it and be treated with honor and integrity, both in the training process as well as after the process as they continue to be employed. One of the individuals challenged me, well, how does this, because I talked about this in a break, is how does this, transfer to profits? And while I said, I certainly can bring up all kinds of statistics and numbers on my phone, and there's been plenty of articles and research studies that'll show this, that the happier your employers are, the more engaged they are, the better business you have, and therefore the more profits you make. But the only thing I asked this particular individual was, how much is the revolving door of employees that only stay weeks or months with you because they're irritated? How much does that cost you in lost productivity? How much does that cost you in hiring ads and taking the time to hire a new person? And that is some hard costs. Fortunately, and in credit to the individual that I talked to on the break, that was the light bulb where he got it and actually said, yeah, you do have a point. My hope is from either my 2 minutes with him, or better yet, the 3 days he spent in the workshop allowed him to think of ways to better engage his employees, as we say, for better productivity and better profits and better results.
So those 3 main points were: 1, think win-win; 2, have a servant's mentality; and 3, do everything with honor and integrity. And I think that those really ring true today as much or even more than 2017 when that episode first aired. We have a lot of people that are spent. They're spent with homeschooling their kids. They're spent with worrying about their parents. They're spent running around trying to get a vaccine. They're spent working from home and trying to make things work. Not even to mention some of the divisiveness and political issues out there. I don't even want to go there. Just simply to say that there are a lot of things on people's minds that are weighing on people's minds. And as we get back to something that maybe looks like normal, I don't even want to use the word new normal. It's so overused. And I don't think that there's a new normal or maybe even a normal anymore. But when we get to some semblance soon of something that looks like progress, where we're running a business, making money, making everybody happy, and not just our customers, members, or clients, but our employees as well. As we get to that, we need to have somewhat of an understanding, especially when it comes to these 3 points. Think win-win. To that particular subject, I've seen a few, one even a client where they didn't like the way, meaning the employees didn't like the way that COVID was handled, and use that as a way to fracture the culture. We've got to go back to thinking win-win, and that's both leaders and employees. You know what? Maybe some mistakes were made, but I guarantee you they weren't made at the expense of the staff. So let's think win-win on both sides. From a leadership perspective, think win-win about what's going to be good for your business and also what's going to be good for your employees. Thinking win-win and inviting that conversation is what earns buy-in. And to all the staff members, employees out there, let's not use what may or may not have happened as an excuse to be negative in the workplace. If it truly was that negative, then go find another job, go have another career, do something else outside of that organization. Please, because in order to really move forward, we need to have that positive culture, and we need to be able to listen to each other and not listen for the purpose of reacting or answering, but listening to try to understand where that person's coming from. So think win-win. A servant's mentality. And I truly believe that this is needed more than ever in leadership, in that our people need to be served, not meaning that we allow them to walk all over us, but to understand that we're not just an owner or manager, but that we're a leader and more so a mentor, that we need to serve those folks by sitting down and understanding. And I do understand that some people just aren't going to come along with the process, the program, what you're trying to accomplish at your unique business. And those few probably do need to, from even a servant's mentality, be made available for other employment so that they can find their happy, whatever the hell that is. But I do truly believe, and maybe I'm naive or ignorant, but I truly, sincerely believe that 9 out of 10 people, can be reached and can best be reached with that servant's mentality, in that, as the owner, manager, leader, I'm here to serve you so that you can better serve the customers, members, or clients that our business serves. And last, do everything with honor and integrity. We're going to make mistakes. And I think, too, it's important to understand, and I've said this many times in the credit union industry, which is non-for-profit. I've said this in the for-profit service businesses such as restaurants, spas, mechanics, gyms, so forth, that if our intent is to earn business or make money at the expense of our employees or customers, that business isn't going to stay in business very long. But if our intent, from an honorable and an integrity point of view, is to make money with our folks, our employees, customers, members, and clients, in order to move our business forward so that we can do more good for all of those groups, whether it's that simply offering a great meal at a great price to families as a restaurant, or to continue serving people as a credit union, bank, or a financial institution even more at a time that they need it, or offer a gym that is both sanitized and safe for all people that want to work out. And I can keep going on. As long as our purpose is to make money so that we can add more value to more people, that is a sincere and honorable way of making decisions, even when we screw up and make a wrong decision. And when we do that, let's figure it out, let's admit it, and let's get that buy-in, or better yet, let's leverage that buy-in, because if you use these 3 points, you're going to earn it in order to continue to move ourselves forward and to find a better way to move our business to that next level. So thank you for sharing a little bit of time with me today. And here's hoping, as always, that you have a cool culture corner at your unique business. Take care.
Now a word from our sponsor, Bader Training and Consulting. BTC is the creator of the B plus C plus S formula. Our clients that implement that formula increase their net income by 124% and grow their business by 17% on average. The best place to start working with Bader Training and Consulting is with our B plus C plus S audit. The service pinpoints issues as well as attributes of your business's unique brand, culture, and strategy. Learn more or sign up for a B plus C plus S audit at www.btcinc.net/BCS-audit.